First Coast's most accurate forecast from the First Coast News Weather Team, certified by Weather Rate, sponsored by AC Designs.
Good afternoon. It is Friday. We have made it to the
Happy Friday,
weekend.
Ross.
Yes.
Happy Friday.
Also, before we get started, Toby, I think the overhead lights need to.
There is something weird. I'm
Yes.
like I am so white.
I think they must have turned.
I thought I forgot to do my
the
makeup.
ceiling.
Let's see if this helps.
I think the ceiling lights are on.
Oh. And now.
Oh,
Yes.
we're getting there.
Even better. Kinda. Yeah.
I don't know why that ceiling light is on.
There were some folks working in the roof recently.
There were
Yeah, I heard the rattling around up there.
the Rattling Bog.
There's some. The what now?
The Rattling Bog?
Don't know what that is.
The bog down in the valley. Oh, the Rattling Bog. The bog down in the valley.
And a fried chicken,
the
country
Rattling-
ham. It's your birthday. Hot dang.
You've never heard that? It's an
No.
Irish folk song that you sing at weddings.
Oh no. Okay.
The Rattling Bog.
The old
I
Rattling
digress. We'll get into it. They'll fix the lights here.
Oh, it's behind the sheet.
Oh.
That's it. That looks
Round of applause for
tremendous.
Jose.
Thank you,
Keep it
Jose.
here. Thank you. Look at that.
Running the show, knows where the switches are.
And who thought Luke
what
could have
bodies
looked
are
even
buried.
better? But look at him now, folks.
Well, it had to
look
be
at him
like-
now. The smolder.
Looking like Casper.
Me?
No, me.
Oh.
No, you look great. I was like, did I not put on my 7 layers of foundation between noon and now? Happy Friday, Ross.
Happy Friday.
To you. Made it
And
through
Buddy
the work
Check.
week. Happy Buddy Check 12 day. We're in the pink. Pink on pink today. I got pink check with pink design. I got,
Love it.
I'm breaking one of the cardinal rules of suit wearing, which is I got 3 patterns on, but you can just barely see the pattern on the suit. Maybe it's not going to totally make people
I like it.
brains explode. But yeah, we're going pattern on pattern on pattern. But it's Buddy Check 12 days, so we have an excuse to do it. Call your buddy. Do your self-exam. We'll have some plenty of Jeannie Blaylock excellence through the broadcast tonight. And so thinking about taking the family down to Orlando, maybe doing a little Disney trip this weekend. We got a few days off. We're going to go down 95 tonight, go check into the hotel. Now, once you make that I-4 split, you're doing okay, but you might run into a couple showers there near Daytona. But that's really the closest rain to us. So as we get, I know we're going to get more specifics into Friday night action, Friday night football, things like that later. But as we go through our night of football, we're looking pretty good.
Yeah, looking pretty good. Don't have to be too concerned about any showers out there. We
at
talked in our
this.
afternoon meeting, maybe a stray coastal shower, but I think that's really for Flagler County, and that's about it. So
Yeah.
looking good for our Sideline 2025 game of the week at the Nice Panthers over at Duncan Fletcher High School.
Yes.
Over in Neptune Beach, or is that considered North Jacks Beach?
Just right there, Jack's Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's such a cool spot. Like when I was a kid, I grew up close to the beach in South Carolina, but my school was 45 minutes inland. And I always thought whenever I drive out of the beach, I'm like, how cool would it be to go to high school a block,
Yeah.
just like really a bike ride and you're right on the sand.
We've got some cool high schools here.
Yeah.
Fletcher, you got Bishop Kenny right there on the
Right on the
water.
river, Bowles
right on the river.
Plenty of, and then there are a couple of, through St. Augustine, a couple of really cool like elementary and middle schools that are right at the sand. That's one of the great things about living here in Northeast Florida is that little perk. Nice, pleasant temperatures today out west. Pretty hot there in Valdosta, but otherwise we're doing pretty good. Stayed below seasonable.
Yeah.
For our day. So
All week long, actually.
mornings have been great.
It's been feeling fresh.
Yeah, it just
Like Subway.
How was your run? Did you do a run today?
I did not do a run today.
It would have been a good day for it. I just remember walking out and I'm like, this is pleasant. Fresh morning. No, the humidity just didn't. It wasn't an issue. Feeling good. Still continue these winds though, man, and it's just been a steady barrage of these northeast winds for better part of 2 weeks. It feels like
So breezy for the kicking game out there tonight.
Yeah.
And for the passing game. If you don't have a lot of velocity on the ball, could be a little bit of an issue, especially for folks a little bit closer to the water. to the coastline out there.
For sure. So, beautiful night for Friday night football. Game of the week, which we've mentioned, is at the beach, and maybe a little bit breezier there, certainly, with those up to around 20-mile-an-hour winds. So, but they're used to it. They practice out there. They know what they're doing. Looking around our country, though, You can see it. The story is told. Kind of our nation's midsection, Central Time Zone is just cooking right now.
They are cooking a third or fourth summer probably in their eyes.
Yeah.
Because they'll get these spells of extreme heat, and perhaps not extreme right now, but certainly more so than perhaps what some of those places expect this time of the year.
And then plus, a place like St. Louis, which I've had a little bit of experience with, you get these types of, warm streaks, and then they get the humidity for sure. Mm-hmm. They get that, that warm air conveyor belt coming right out of the Gulf.
The Gulf, yep.
And it just feeds it. So it's 92 there at the moment, but probably feels like 100, and it just gets sticky and stifling.
And I think
Mississippi River.
The interesting thing is, some places like Madison, Wisconsin, Minneapolis, like upper north or upper, Midwest or the Great Lakes area, mm-hmm. they had temperatures that were like in the 50s and 60s, like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And they're, 40 degrees warmer than that here now. So we're kind of at that time of the year for some of our folks who live a little bit northern here in the country, that you get those huge fluctuations of temperatures, right?
Yeah.
That you'll have a spell of 80s and 90s, and then a front comes in, a big dip in the jet stream, and then you get those temperatures down in the 50s and 60s for a couple of days.
In upper Midwest like that, Milwaukee, parts of Minnesota, they had kind of a late start to their thaw out, this year too. Summer got to them kind of late, and so they're kind of getting the other end of it now with a little hot air outbreak. So your jet pattern, a little omega blocker there. Mm-hmm. Something we wouldn't love to see if we had if as that continues to move more towards the east, if there was something in the tropics. But there's really nothing for us to concern ourselves with at the moment, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. Tomorrow morning lows, another pleasant start to our day. It consistently been in the 60s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we hit 66 this morning. Got a low of 68 tomorrow for the Jacksonville area. Mid-60s inland, closer to the beaches. Kind of the similar story or same story you've experienced all week long, right? Low to mid-70s, a little bit humid, more humid out there at least. But overall, I think tomorrow should shape up to be a pretty nice day for the vast majority of us. Temperature is going to be perhaps a little bit cooler than we've seen, low 80s, but mostly sunny. The big story tomorrow is really going to be the winds, mm-hmm. And the wind gusts, especially for anyone who's planning on going out to the beach. Gusts upwards of about 30 to 40 miles per hour out there tomorrow, Lou.
Yeah, and that is why we have in our minds, coastal showers certainly possible. Still focusing, where you see those highest gusts, which would be St. Augustine, Palm Coast, so St. Johns County beaches, Flagler County. Not to say that, Glenn, Camden, Nassau, St. John, and Duval won't have big winds. They will, and you certainly will. Just a little bit higher wind gusts picking up with the computer modeling, which would kind of lead towards where we're going to see the best chance of rain, at least. Mm-hmm. I think, coastally speaking, but also driven maybe along St. Johns County and Flagler, the best chances for Saturday, at least.
Yeah, more of our southern or southeastern counties here.
Yep, and we got to bump up the rip current risk too. And
mm-hmm.
and we already, even today at noon, as we were looking at some of the live cameras, that the red flags are flying at the beach. The beaches aren't closed, water's not closed. They're not flying the double reds, but those single reds, you just, if you're the novice swimmer, it's not going to be, any time's a fine time to go to the beach to spend a little bit of time, maybe a jog or a walk, but it's not the perfect, let's get a cooler, let's bring the stereo, we're going to set up the tent, we're going to spend 4 hours out here today and make a day of it.
Yeah.
Probably not the best weekend for that, just because you're just going to, if you don't get rained on, you're still going to just get pummeled by constant wind.
Yeah, your tent's going to go flying.
Yep.
And really, temperature-wise, it's not going to be that warm really to be out there.
Right.
My grandma used to always say it had to be 80 degrees or more
Yeah.
for us to either go in the pool or if we happen to be at the beach, to go out in the ocean.
That's
it was
true.
like 80 degrees or warmer, and we're only going to be low 80s for the most part. So it's not going to be like a hot, sultry day out there by any means for anyone who does plan to go out to the beach.
Yeah. So lower rain chances for southeast Georgia, 95 corridor and west. They're not zero, but they're lower. And for further south, as we mentioned, St. Johns, Flagler County, we'll watch out for a little bit better chance of seeing some of those coastal showers, as our forecast modeling will suggest. And this is kind of the imagery we're seeing, and going through Saturday afternoon, Look at those winds, kind of pummeling in, and anything that does develop offshore would have the tendency to just come right on and then kind of fall apart as it moves to the west. As you see there, stronger showers potential at the beach, but then even Saturday night into early Sunday morning. And then Sunday, we've actually bumped up rain chances. It kind of just keeps vacillating between, is Saturday going to be better chance? Is Sunday going to be better chance? So what we're going to do is just say each day, let's be prepared for a coastal shower. And not a washout for any given day, not an all-day rain for any given day, but let's just be prepared along our beaches both days, with Sunday maybe trending a little bit better.
Yeah, I think it's just
For shower chances, I mean.
a good idea to keep the umbrella handy.
Yeah.
If you're going to be walking around or anything, you going shopping down at the town center perhaps even on Saturday or Sunday, not necessarily expecting rain, but don't be surprised if a shower blows on in and all of a sudden you're like running to get, cover with your shopping bags.
Have you ever had a umbrella flip inside out on you because it was so windy?
Yeah, when we had the First Coast News umbrellas.
Yeah.
First one I got. Yeah, first time I used it was during Hurricane Debbie.
and
Last year.
it flipped inside out?
Yeah, I was taking the dog for a walk.
Yeah.
Done.
And
Done and dusted.
Yeah.
Yep.
And once it does it once, it's already loosened up, and it's just going to do it every single time.
And there's few things more embarrassing than being the weatherman, right?
And you're
out there with
inside out.
Yeah. I guess the other worst thing is if you're just out there in the pouring rain.
Right, with
and they're
nothing.
like, why didn't he take an umbrella? And I'm like,
that happens to me more often than you might think.
I know it happens a lot.
On the Publix run, and you're just, showers pop up in Florida. Like, what do you want me to do? And I sometimes I need to listen to my own advice. And as I say, you put the umbrella in the backseat of the car. Lewis, listen to your own advice. Take your own medicine. And it's like, dang it, I get it. Like, we all kind of forget sometimes. But and so I run into Publix. I'm soaking wet in the first joke. Well, weatherman.
Yeah.
Didn't you know it was going to rain?
Hate
Well, I
to see
did, and then I still didn't listen to advice. There's 2 levels to everything. You got to know it and then listen to yourself. But yeah, Sunday we showed those rain chances. Again, best at the beach, but maybe a little better for all of us to see a quick shower. And the weekend outlook, windy is the story.
Yeah.
Very, very breezy for both days.
Now, a little bit quieter weather elsewhere for both the Bulldogs and the Gators, right? You got Georgia playing up in Rocky Top there in Knoxville against the Vols, 3:30 kick for the Bulldogs. Sunny skies up there, mid-80s. We were talking, it's looking to be pretty warm across the central part of the country, right?
Yep.
I have knocked temperatures down perhaps just a hair for both Saturday night and then, of course, we'll talk about the Jags away game against the Bengals on Sunday.
Yep.
But either way you see it, shouldn't be any rain or storms in the forecast to impact either the Georgia game or, of course, UF's big game against the Tigers.
Yeah.
Down there in LSU.
You have been to Knoxville, right? Haven't you been to?
I have been to Knoxville.
And you've done a Tennessee game?
I have not done a Tennessee. No, I've not been to a Tennessee game, but
Okay.
I have toured their whole campus.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool spot.
Yeah.
Pretty cool spot.
Very hilly.
Yeah.
A lot of ups and downs. Got to work on the hamstrings.
Those hilly
bit.
campuses, walking uphill class. Columbia had some hill, not like Tennessee, but
Oh, yeah, they got some hills there.
there were some steep hills walking up and down. Got your workout in. Baton Rouge, that's going to be rocking and rolling. We picked this game,
Well,
and we're going to talk about that. Here we go.
here we go.
I keep getting. We're going to show our picks, and it's a little more boring this week.
I've made a change.
You made a change.
I did.
Oh, you
Well-
okay. I'm fascinated to see what the change is
Because we have this telepathy. We were lockstep
Yep.
together with our picks.
Yep.
And how much research did you do on your picks this week?
I mean, just surface level, but I know
Okay.
these teams. I mean,
So-
I have a lot of familiarity with each of these, having watched a little bit of football. So
So I did research primarily with the A&M and Notre Dame game.
Okay.
I know Notre Dame. I don't know as much about A&M.
Yeah.
And I want to do a little bit of a deep dive.
Okay.
So
let me hear your deep dive.
Well, on the Texas A&M and Notre Dame game.
Well, let's show the picks, and then I want to
Okay.
hear what you've got to say.
I was going to say the first one.
Yep. Wisconsin
Bama.
just they've been down,
They don't have a lot of talent at
Yeah.
Wisconsin right now.
and it's just not the same old
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
And they're playing in Tuscaloosa.
Right.
In the heat.
Yeah.
I think Wisconsin and the Badgers struggle quite a bit. Then we go over to Rocky Top.
Yep. And we both go Tennessee.
Which is kind of surprising. I didn't expect you to take Tennessee.
Yeah, I think
Tell me your thoughts and I'll share mine.
Georgia. I know they're Georgia, and they got a great head coach. I just I'm not sold on the quarterback. I'm not sold. That first, the look at him, the first time out, I don't know. Something wasn't right. I know it was the early. And what's going to end up happening, all the Georgia fans are going to, want to slap me upside the head when they put up 50 against Tennessee. But, in Tennessee, going to be rocking, a real test for Georgia. I think Tennessee comes out on top. And I think it's a tight one. I think it's certainly going to be one of those that comes down to perhaps some special teams, some sort of defensive touchdown. It's going to be, they're going to score. It's going to go back and forth. And then, I just do think Tennessee somehow ends up finding a way to win it.
Yeah, I think this game comes down to a last-minute kick.
Yeah.
And Tennessee, obviously, I think is going to take it.
Yep.
I like Joey Aguilar, the new Tennessee quarterback coming in, the transfer from UCLA. Him and Nico Iamaleava, switched schools essentially.
Yep.
But I agree. Gunnar Stockton with Georgia, I'm not sold yet.
Yep.
Georgia's played two inferior teams leading up to this week. They didn't look outstanding against either of them, so I'm not convinced. I think their number 6 ranking might be rather generous just because it is Kirby Smart and it is the Dogs.
Yeah.
And they got a stout defense, so
And maybe
we'll
they're
see.
just maybe they're just holding. And again, like
They might prove us wrong.
they might, and maybe they've kept that playbook closed, and we're about to see some dog stuff. But going down Baton Rouge now,
Nightcap.
and we both went LSU, and this is the one that I'm getting different vibes on. Now.
This is going to be a much closer game than what their rankings show.
Yeah.
I think Florida covers here.
Yeah. Do you know the spread? What is it?
I think it's 7.5.
That makes sense. I think
This is going to be a close game. So I attended
Florida
this
is
game
gonna
in the Swamp last year.
Yeah.
And it was close.
Yeah.
And I know LSU's. Both teams I think have improved in general, but I think Florida just laid an egg last week.
And they're going to come out.
Billy's going to do something to keep his job.
He's going to have to. And this is going to be one of those things like Billy Napier's way is just every season it just seems like there's 1 or 2 wins that keeps him safe.
Mm-hmm.
This would be that. I can absolutely see an upset happening and everything gets right in Gatorland. But we did lean LSU. I think we're just kind of going with brains over heart on this one.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about a Gator win, you're not surprised in the least. This one's Florida LSU is always interesting. And so you have switched it up. I went A&M, you went Notre Dame. So let me hear your breakdown then.
Well, so I think Notre Dame could have. I think they've had some changes on the offensive line. Jeremiah Love's probably one of the best backs in the country, and I think as a whole, Notre Dame's rushing attack, at least running back wise, is probably one of the best duos next to maybe Penn State. They looked good against Miami. I don't see them losing 2 ranked games this early in the year. Right. I don't see it. Texas A&M also, their record's not good against top 10 teams.
Right.
Especially in an away game.
Yeah.
If this was played in College Station, with the 12th man there, I'd be taking Texas A&M, and that's who I had originally taken. But I don't know. I feel like Mike Elko lets you down in the big games. I feel like him and James Franklin are almost kind of similar. They win the games they should.
Yeah.
But in the big games, when you got to play the big dogs and the big boys, kind of lets you down. They lost to Texas last year in the SEC championship game. I do see them losing to Notre Dame in this game in South Bend.
Well, there's the one separator there. So we'll see if Ross or whoever will take that 1-game lead going into next week.
Otherwise, we're going to be completely tied.
Seriously. So I see you drop the temperatures a bit.
A little bit.
In Cincinnati.
A few degrees.
Still hot.
Yeah.
Still hot, and but Jags are used to it. And any fans that are traveling up to Cincinnati for this one, prepare for the heat. Just like we were telling you for that home opener, prepare for that heat. We got that storm delay, which might have helped you with the heat. Had to take a break, get underneath the stadium, and get some shade, get some hydration. But this is going to be a hot one. Plenty of sun, though.
Take the sunscreen.
Yeah, not seeing too much in the way of storms with this one. So, that road trip up, or are you taking that? Is there a direct? I know sometimes the various airlines will pop a direct during football season. So I got that maybe some research. But however you're going, if you are going, if this is your Jags road game, go have a good time. Just prepare for the heat.
Do you have a game pick here or a prediction?
I think this is going to be close. On paper, I'm sure everybody's picking the Bengals.
You think?
Just because quarterback. Okay. Burrow. That's my thought.
Mm-hmm.
And defense, but I do think I think it's gonna be a good game. Hearts Jags obviously, So we'll see.
I think if the Jags are able to run the ball, if they run for over 100 yards, Jags win.
And I think they will between
because
ETN and
running the ball keeps Joe Burrow and Chase and Higgins off the field.
Off the field, sure.
So
and
that's my thought.
Had a couple of injuries on that defensive side. Aluakun had, I think maybe he was dealing with an illness earlier in the week, so hopefully he's good to go, and we got him out, and I think Jags do come back with a dub. We've got. So what's the games we've got? We've got 2, and then we're gonna have a Monday nighter against the Chiefs.
Hey, we play the Chiefs week 5.
Week 5. I don't know the next 2 off the top of my head, which is
the Jags are at home next weekend.
So I think there's very legit vibes here. You win this one, and I know we take it one game at a time, but, if you're going undefeated into that Monday night game against the Chiefs, we're going to have some electricity.
Taking it one game at a time, and this guy's talking about undefeated by week 5.
Going into week 5, 4-0. Man, let's make it happen. Things you want and need to see. Transitioning to a time of tropics, and we do have the area of thunderstorms has come off the coast of Africa finally, but man, it doesn't get any further away in the Atlantic Ocean than where this X is right now. So the story with this is time, but even with time, not falling in love with what's going to happen with this storm over the long range. Just a 40% chance of developing over the next week, nothing over the next 48 hours. So even for the next 48 hours, it's just running it. The water's not quite warm enough where it is. It's going to have to get into some warmer water, going to have to find some rising air, going to have to find just a little bit of juice to get going. And so we're at a week from today at this point. So if we talk, 40% chance, 7 days, within the next 7 days, this is that.
Still out in the central Atlantic.
Middle of the Atlantic, and trending more north, which is things we like to see, and becoming very open, which is another thing we like to see for those that are rooting for a quiet hurricane season, which I certainly am, even by, as we get beyond here. Mm-hmm. So, I'm encouraged by this, but the flip side of that is tons of time, and let's not get our eyes fixed too hard on just that one area that they're watching, because there will be other things we may need to watch between now and September 19th. Yeah. Particularly in the Caribbean, because some longer range modeling has some things popping there. But overall,
at the very least, just an influx of moisture.
Yeah.
Up out of there. Does something, spin up? That's kind of too early to tell, but I think a good point to make.
And the thing about, Earth is everything's just traveling around, and over the Atlantic, it's been a lot of sinking air, a lot of subsidence, a lot of stability. If you're looking what's on the other side of Earth and moving towards the Atlantic, perhaps we get a period of time at the end of the month and early October where we're seeing a little
rising air.
Yeah, a little more instability, and that would not be our friend. So you have to watch those cycles too, and we have that kind of in our minds for the really long range. We've still got a long way to go in the hurricane season, but so far, pretty quiet start to the month of September in the hurricane season. 7-day forecast, focusing on the weekend a good bit.
And dry. You mentioned just the quiet start to hurricane season. Also, for Jacksonville specifically, so not southern area. St. John's and Flagler have gotten a lot of rain.
Right.
Jacksonville itself, I think we've only gotten 0.3 of an inch.
Right.
For the start of September.
Yeah.
We're like 2.5 inches below average for the month already.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we are still kind of in that wet season. We haven't transitioned technically, climatologically, into the dry season yet. So, we could use maybe a little rain, but it look, again, going to be focused St. Johns County and the beaches and as we go through the weekend. And maybe the question is, when do we relax with these winds? And the answer is, we don't really. It's not going to be quite as extreme as the weekend, but even through next week, we still hold on to this pattern with those northeast winds. Yeah,
no real changes with that. So, river's still going to be high. Waterway's still going to be high. Mm-hmm. We're going to be watching for that over the weekend as well. That coastal flood advisory is still in effect through Sunday, I believe, now.
Yep.
So coastal flood, the rip current concerns out there at the beaches. But otherwise, you got any other plans? Should be pretty nice for you out there.
Enjoy it. All right. For Ross, I'm Lewis. Going to go do the 5 p.m. broadcast on the on-air side of things. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your evening and a great weekend. Enjoy Friday Night Football.